glue. Alright. You guys asked for weathering, so I'm going to do a little weathering tutorial. I was going to wait a little bit longer in the series to finish some of these helmets, but I just got this bad boy in, and he is too white for me. He is.
Yes, sir. Too white.
He is too clean. Way too clean. So we're going to dirty him up. I'm going to show you guys kind of the techniques that I use for weathering. There are a bunch of different techniques. If I miss some, these are just the ones that I use personally. So we're going to start off with, one of the first things we use is water with clothing dye in it, just diluted. And then we also have just some acrylic paint diluted with water as well. You can do any color. Black is always a good one for the black wash. If you want to, you can use a more rusted color. This is the one I use the most though, the black. We have liquid latex right here, and then we have, we're going to do a, just like a broad stroke, I guess? I don't know how to say this one. Whatever. We're going to use some spray paint with some steel wool, and then we're also going to use a bucket of water. We're going to use some wet sanding. I also like some of this stuff, this textured spray paint comes in handy as well. And then my gross bucket of rust right here, my homemade rust. Basically what I do is when I am finished using the steel wool, because we're going to have to get it wet, it rusts really quickly. So what I do is I put it in a little jar and then I put more water in it. And then eventually when it dries, you get some dust, some rust dust. So we'll use some of that. And then you can also use a wood burning. This one's been through the ringer a little bit. And then some files as well to get some cuts and stuff. So we are going to get right into it. You want to get in these nooks and crannies. You want to get in these corners where dirt will pile up and make it look Star Warsy. I don't know if that's a word, Star Warsy, but
maybe talk about how George Lucas threw dirt and the stormtroopers.
Yeah, throw some dirt on it, you know, and you're good. So this is kind of an example right here. So this is the man, why can't I think of what that's called? Overspray. There we go. This is like the overspray method. Weathering is however you want it to be. I personally like light weathering. Sometimes I go a little overboard like this one. One thing I will say is in person this looks really dirty, really grimy, but when you start taking pictures of your cosplay or taking some videos, if you're doing fan films or something like that, it will look less dirty, which is kind of crazy because I get a lot of comments saying that like my Rex is too shiny and all this stuff, but when I look at it, he is very dirty. So I've gone back and made it how I want to, and I make it look like I want it to on camera. It does look a little dirtier in person for my taste, but just like art, it's subjective, however you want to do it. Liquid latex is always good. If you want to show paint underneath, so you'll do something like this. You'll put the liquid latex down on your white paint, and then you'll spray paint over it. And then once it's dried, you just peel it up and you get little scratch marks, which are really cool. I do like liquid latex because when you lay it down, it kind of goes at random where you want to put it. So it makes it less uniformed, which is really nice. Yeah, we'll get right into it. So first thing we do is on a new surface like this, because it is plastic. It was weathered already, but I sanded it down before the video, so I didn't have to do that during the video. So basically, we're going to start with our overspray method, which is my favorite. The nice thing about this is when you use the steel wool and you wet the steel wool, if you spray too much on it, you can always scratch it off and start again, just like anything. If you really want to, you can just paint it all white again and then start over. That's the nice thing. So we are going to get in our little corners right here. So I think I might do some black right in here, maybe some rust in there. All these little corners right here, we're going to want to get some dirt and grime into there to make it look like it's worn. So, alright. What you're going to want to do is get your steel wool or your wet sandpaper, either one. Get that wet. Get that right there. Alright. And then what you want to do is keep it, you know, like arm distance away and just spray on it. So I want to get into those corners. I don't really like that color. Alright. It's all good. Alright, and then what you want to do is just circular motions in there. And you just keep doing that until you're satisfied. If you want to do more or less, it's whatever you want to do. Just do circular motions. One thing that I do really like doing is on corners like this, I like having dirt all around and then just scraping off this corner so you can see like your hand would be there, like dirt can be on here, but then your hand is hitting this. It makes it pop a lot. These ridges really pop out. Alright. So let's do some circular motions. And then take a paper towel, get all the water off, see how it's looking. So we're getting there. You're going to do this all around. I'm going to do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, so now that we have dirtied it up a little bit, still need to do a little bit on top as well. But we've done our overspray. This is kind of what I want for my weathering. We are going to move on to the wash. So basically what I do is I'll put some water in there, and then I'll take my acrylic paint, put a little bit in there, and I'll shake it up. When doing this, make sure that you are outside, maybe in like dirt or something like that, because it will stain. When we go outside, you'll see my bushes that were supposed to be green that are now black. It's all because of the black wash. So make sure you're doing it where you can either clean it up or it's in the dirt, so you don't get in trouble. Okay, so here we are with our black wash. These bottles, just go to Home Depot. They got a bunch of them. All we're going to do is just spray it down. Make sure that when you spray it down, you get all the drips, because you don't want that drippy look on there. So I'm just going to spray it all over my hand. Got a little clog there, so you can see my bushes are black. Alright, give her a good rinse. So that's pretty dark. But then you just take a paper towel, and what I like to do is I like to dab it. So I like to dab it down. Alright, so now that we have our overspray and black wash all on there, getting it nice and dirty, I am going to need to go back and open this and dirty it again because I missed some spots, but that's an easy fix. So now we're going to get into these little grooves in here, all this stuff. All these little cracks and crevices, I want to get some dirt in there, because that's, you know, normally where it would go. So we are going to do that next. Now what I want to try to do is recreate this little effect right here and everything. So just get it nice and dirty. What I'm going to use is this textured paint right here and my bag of rust. I got a jar of dirt. I got a jar of dirt. Let's see, where do we want to start first? Okay, I'm going to start in these little grooves right here. So what I'm going to do, get my dust ready, have my gloves on. This is steel wool dust, so there's still little metal shards in there, and so I just, try to keep it safe as much as possible. But basically, after a while, after all the water dries in there, you're going to get rust that looks like this. And then I put it into a bag. And might as well use natural rust to get in rust. So what I want to do is spray a little bit in there. Get that all up in there. Yeah. Best part about weathering is if you mess up a little, you're fine. Alright. So that was kind of a lot in there. But what I want to do is dust that in there. Get it all up in there. Alright, get a little smudge in there. The reason I like using this textured stuff instead of like a clear coat is even though you can use clear coat and kind of do this, if you just get the spray on there, and then it'll still give you texture. So my goal here is to make it look like it's kind of sealed shut with the rust. That's the effect I'm going for on this particular piece. This is also a good method for inside like vents and stuff like that, in like a Mando helmet or just anything. So I've only used this method a couple times. I'm still kind of figuring out the kinks. I learned this from either it was Tech Bad Batch or Alpha Ignition. It's one of those two, but they suggested getting real rust for rust effects, and then I kind of just modified it into my own little thing with the textured paint and then dabbing it on there. So yeah, this is just kind of a cool creation from someone else's thoughts. So just modified a little bit. Now it looks like we have a sealed cantonal. Okay, so now we're moving on to these sides. I don't want to do too much in these just because they do open, so we're just gonna focus mostly on these little cracks right here. I don't want to go all the way around just because I don't think that's gonna look good personally. So I'm not gonna go all the way around, just in right here, maybe a little bit on top as well. Just these three little marks right here where it opens up. So. So this is why I like messing around with weathering. You just find really cool things. While I turned the camera off so I could finish a couple other things, I accidentally did this. I did this one on accident right here, and then this one was on purpose, and it was pretty cool. I kind of like this one little thing. Maybe I shouldn't have done it right here, but I kind of wanted to see if I could replicate it, before I did anything else with it. So I'm going to do it on the other side, kind of show you what I did. This was all by accident. It was a misspray when I was doing this. So we'll try it over here real quick. So all I did was took my spray, see if I can replicate it. Hopefully I can. I did kind of like a straight spray, so you can kind of see that right there. And then I patted it down so it wasn't as wet. And then I took some of my dust, sprinkle a little on there, not too much. That might have been too much, but just a tiny bit. And then kind of pat it in there, and then all I did was wipe it down. So it's not like the other one, not as perfect, but kind of a cool look. So yeah, weathering is all about just messing around, making it look good. So I think that looks pretty cool. So there's a new method for you. Alright, so this is all the rust effect on here. I wish I kind of didn't do this extra one, but it's all good. Here's the rust. Now we're going to try something a little different that I've never tried before, but hey, that's what it's here for, you know? So we're going to try something new. I'm going to try to burn some little cuts in there, make it really damaged, but that's why I like messing around with weathering and stuff, you know? I found this look, thought that was pretty cool, so maybe we'll find something with this as well. We'll see. I'm waiting for the wood burner to heat up so I can start making some marks in this. I just wanted to shout out a couple people. Go Getter Greg taught me the overspray method, which I really like, which now you can't really see it anymore on this, but you can definitely see it in my clones. I wanted to shout out another good weathering creator is Island Fet. His stuff is absolutely amazing. If you don't follow him on Instagram, please do. Odd Viking as well. He does picture tutorials on his stories, which are absolutely insane. You can really see the effort and detail that he puts into all his work. He's an amazing creator. Definitely go follow him. As well as Tech Bad Batch and Alpha Ignition. They were the ones that got me the idea of the rust. I'm pretty sure I learned it from Tech Bad Batch and he learned it from Alpha Ignition. So I just wanted to shout both of them out on this rust technique that I am now implementing into this guy. So I think it looks pretty good. I don't know exactly how they did it, how they put it on, but this was my method to put it on. Like I said in the very beginning, everything that I do is the way I do it. You may do it differently, and that is okay. I just wanted to show you guys exactly how I did it because you guys were asking for it. So there you go. Alright, so now this thing is warmed up. We're going to try it out. We're going to see what happens. I already made like a little mark, but then my friend called me. So we're just going to kind of cut into this. Why not? Cut some plastic up. Ooh, that smells terrible. Alright, so this is the little gash we have. You can see I kind of poked a hole in there on accident. I don't really know how I'm going to cover that up. I might not. I might just kind of leave it. Kind of looks cool. So we'll see. So there's one method that I completely forgot about. Mostly just because I don't really use it as much anymore. But that is dry brushing. So basically, what you're going to do, get a little bit of paint. Also, if your hands don't look like that after weathering, are you really weathering? Let's see. Let's find a paper towel. Okay, so basically you're going to get all that out there. And then when you put it on there, it's going to lightly put it on. I'm going to try this. I'm going to see how it goes first. So this is the dry brush method. You're just going to kind of put it in there. You don't want too much paint on there. Like I still have a little bit too much. but I think I'm gonna end up going with the rust look because I do like the way that looks, but I kind of want that rust look. So I don't know. It is pretty good, actually. I do like that a lot. Maybe I'll go dry brush. I don't really ever use it anymore. I mostly use the spray method, the overspray method, so I totally forgot about this. So let's do a little more in there, get all that paint out. So you just want to be able to brush it like this. So if you can see my hand, just a tiny little bit. I mean, you can even wipe it off if you really need to. So we're gonna dry brush that, kind of go around the edges so it looks kind of like a scorch burn. Alright, so I know I said that I was going to dry brush it, but I ended up going with this little rust effect. Again, just spraying this stuff in there and then putting that rust in there, and I think I do like this a little bit better. Mostly just because it matches all the other scratches and rust effect that we got going on. So for this project, I did like that. I remember dry brushing because I haven't used that method in a while, and it does work on a lot of other things, but I'm glad that I went with the rust effect on this instead. So I think it does match and look a little bit better on this. So final thing that I kind of want to do here is, I already did one on this side, was just sand down these gray marks. It just doesn't match. As you can see here, this is super bright, so I want to take it down a little bit. So I'm just gonna kind of take that down, make it a little faded. Alright, that concludes my first weathering tutorial. I will be doing a couple more, strictly one just on clones, which is just the black wash and the overspray method. I need to repaint my whole Rex, so I will take you guys on that journey as well. But if you guys need to, before I make that video, you guys can just go back and see how I did it on this and just apply it just like that on there. So before I go, I get a lot of questions usually when I make videos on what I'm wearing, so might as well get it out of the way now. The hat is from the Night Squadron. Shirt is from Imperial Merch Co. Use Clone 15 at checkout. And yeah, make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, wherever that is. Yeah, have a great day and happy building. I'll see you guys in the next one.